Welcome to Local SEO Today. I'm Roger Murphy.
And I'm John Vaughn.
Today we want to talk to business owners and entrepreneurs who have, and you have a website today, and the website you want to increase, I guess, your authority and the idea of Google seeing you as an authoritative, trusted source for information. You got to add content all the time, John.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about how to write a compelling piece of content,
right.
Quality piece that, will probably trend and get picked up by Google and hopefully get ranked on Google, right? But first, where do you even start, right? How do you get started in terms of, do you want to do it yourself, or do you want to work with a company that actually has expertise in writing good pieces, right?
So what we'll do is we're going to go over the list of things you need to consider to do it effectively. You'll decide, do you have the time, the expertise to do it, but certainly give it a try if you want yourself. But after we've given you the list, you might wonder about, is this something that you should hand off to an expert to do for you?
So the first thing you want to figure out is, what is the topic that you want to start with, right? I think the key thing here is there's so much content out there in the world, right? But you want to look for things that are more trending. What is hot today, or what you believe is something that is, people are actually searching with high search volume.
What they're searching for.
Because the more likelihood of getting picked up or having newsworthy information, the more likelihood your content piece will get picked up.
Now, John, is that a trend that they go to their gut saying, I think this is what people are interested in today, or is there software that they can?
Yeah, there's definitely software for this, because keyword research and even Google Trends allows you to figure out what is popular. What is actually high search volumes, so that you actually are putting together a piece that has search volume. Right? Because people are actually looking for this kind of information, right? And so you have to figure out the topic, but who is your customer you're talking to? The audience, right? So figure out who that end user you're speaking to with this content is for, right? So take a step back and figure out who that customer is. Create that persona, what their age is, what their personality is, what they like and what they don't like, where are they located. So it's a persona.
Put yourself in their shoes, really.
Exactly.
Just try and figure out what they're looking for, and then really think about what will resonate with them with this blog.
So, once you have that persona and figure out the topic and you know what the information is, then there's key tidbits that you need to do to make sure that you have a compelling piece that may get amplified and shared and retweeted, etc., right?
If it's structured properly. So here's the tip. Now that we've talked about the content, what who you're speaking to and how it will resonate with them, now here's the technical side of it.
So make sure that it's also very natural. So, there's a fine line of writing for the purpose of just writing, or writing for a blog to get picked up by Google, right? So SEO writing, I would say.
Naturally written.
Naturally written. So there's experts for this purpose, right? And go after long-tail converting terms.
So long-tail versus short-tail. Can you define that?
Yeah, so long terms is different variation of keywords. So a longer tail, multiple words, is in a keyword phrase, right? So instead of just going after a 2-word phrase, go after 3 or 4 word terms. The conversion is a lot higher, right? And make sure that you're mapping out the journey of who that ideal customer of yours and how they search, right?
A long tail term, we're using the basketball reference right now, but let's say, what shoes does Kawhi Leonard wear? Because he's got a special brand that he represents now. But if you put in Kawhi Leonard basketball shoes, that's a long tail that's very, very driven by the intent that somebody or some teenager wants the same shoe that he's wearing.
Exactly. And when you type that in on a Google search, there's also auto-populate or auto-suggest, right? So it gives you a high search volume that Google suggests that you're looking for, right? Their AI or RankBrain is very smart that they actually know, like, this is probably what you're kind of searching for, right? And then focus more on delivering and answering that query, right? So writing that blog, make sure that it's very easy to read with proper tags of title, description, and even headers, right? And make it so that it's formatted so it's easy for your customers, users, to really ingest that content.
And that long tail word that we're talking about really should be one per blog, not mix it up with a whole bunch of long tail, but it's one. So that you want to focus on that keyword, long tail keyword, that will get hopefully ranked.
Yeah, so the topic, that blog, that landing page that you're writing for should have one generic topic in mind, with various variations of keywords that people may type in, but there's an overarching topic in general, right? And then you have to think about, well, what is ranking currently on Google for that term? Why is it ranking? What's the length of the word page? What kind of content is already provided? And how can you provide better content? Is there better resources that you can incorporate? Is there more information that you can provide? There's so much more to it in terms of writing good quality content.
And this is just the blog we're talking about right now. So some of the technical things, John, we want to talk about in terms of the title, the characters, the word count. How do we want to discuss that?
Yeah, so even like title tags, right? Yes, have it under 60 characters. But you have to remember that writing compelling titles and headlines is so critical to ensure that you get a really high click-through. So maybe this is A/B testing as well, right? Have multiple headlines to see what the conversion rate is.
Which ones are working,
Which one isn't working, which ones are, why are they converting, and the ones that are converting, are they actually doing an action after they click on your website, right? Like what is the whole purpose of that blog? And even providing specific content, written content in a blog can come in multiple formats, right? So is there images that can support the content that's written, right? Is it a round table where you have experts that you can get their feedback on, right? Is there a survey or something that is new that you can kind of had a study where you can actually create this and put this out, and hopefully someone will pick it up and amplify it, right? So there's so much more to writing a blog today that you can use. Like there's a lot of resources out there, right?
It needs to be a compelling story. It has to be naturally written, and then all the technical aspects that we're just speaking of also.
Yeah, and it's hard to, even if you're running a business owner, writing is not something that most business owners are strong at. Right? I mean, there's English majors, art majors, and novelists and writers and publishers. This is their expertise. They love using the English language to really put together a story, right? That will resonate to increase the click-through rate, right? So, let them do what they're good at and let you focus on what you're good at as a business owner.
As a new budding entrepreneur, let's say you've got lots of time in your hands, you can certainly try this yourself, like write the blog, but again, you want to make sure that you're not going about it the wrong way. What's the point of doing all this work only to find out that in fact it's not clicking through properly? So you've spent all this time trying to learn what an expert would have fixed up and would have seen right away at the very beginning of the article.
Yeah, what's your time worth to you? But at the beginning, I know it. You don't have a lot of resources. You don't have funds, right, to invest on a professional, blog writer or content producer, right? So you have to do everything in-house yourself, right? But you have to remember there's a process, and you have to do the best that there is to eventually get ranked on the first page, right? Because what's the point of creating this compelling piece, but no one's really clicking on that article, right?
And really, the reason we're even talking about this is that we know search engines, and in particular Google, attract well over 90% of all the eyeballs out there when people are searching for anything today, whether it's the beginning of their journey, the end of the journey. I speak of these running shoes, of course, whether it's your favorite basketball player, your hero that's wearing something, you're starting to search, and that's what's trending right now. it's a big job, and it's not, you got a lot of technical things you got to deal with to try and get the right content out there.
Yeah, and then producing it, and then not just writing it and putting it all together, making it so that it actually is presentable.
Sure.
So that's another piece as well. Like the developer of your website needs to actually implement it as well, right? So this whole process of creating content, you can try to do it yourself. Definitely, as a small business owner, you want to take control and try things, right? See what works and where you want to invest your time.
Yep. Inside this blog, just because there was one more note I wanted to talk about, was adding additional media along with it.
Yes.
To keep them interested. What other types of media would we be talking about there?
I think the key here is visual content.
Visual.
Right? Because someone's here reading a blog. So images, an infograph, something that actually can resonate with that reader, right? They can visualize as well as read and connect the two.
And it keeps them sticky, keeps them on the page.
And it has to be attractive, right? So customize images so that it's actually connected with whatever you're writing about, right?
Exactly.
Not just any image that you can just pick online, right? And where you have a subscription, but customize whatever you're producing so that it has a story.
Yes.
It has a message, right? It has to flow properly, because the longer the journey is, if you're writing a 1,000-piece article, 1,000 word or 1,500 word, that's a couple minutes that someone's going to be staying on your site, right? So what is your purpose of that blog? Make sure there is call to actions. Make sure there's something for them to do afterwards, or what's the point of having that piece?
Yeah. Right. So in terms of the world of content, it's important because Google wants it. That'll get more, because more eyeballs are going there. It all makes perfect sense. It's just a matter of you as a business owner. Do you have the resources to do it yourself, or do you need to focus on your business and then let an expert get this content put together for you? That will convert for your business.
Thanks a lot, Roger.
Well, and thank you, John, for your information today. I think this was pretty helpful. So creating quality content, it's a big job, but it's definitely worthwhile. So thank you for watching. We'll see you again at Local SEO Today.
Thank you.